Welcome to Cooperative Learning. The objectives for this video are the following: to recognize the attributes of cooperative learning as an accountability tool for student learning, to select a team grouping strategy in your classroom which promotes an effective learning environment, to design a team building activity that will get team members acquainted and working together, to identify the habits, behaviors, and expectations of an effectively functioning team, to describe an effective grading strategy for work submitted by team members, and to familiarize yourself with cooperative learning strategies to use in the classroom. It's important to understand what cooperative learning really means. What it is. It is a way to increase student accountability for learning in the classroom that utilizes grouping strategies. The purpose is to get all students to feel responsible for learning. What it is not. It is not simply an effective strategy for grouping students. Spencer Kagan is considered to be one of the experts of cooperative learning. He describes some of the essential attributes of cooperative learning in the classroom. The first one is positive interdependence. This means groups function as teams with a common goal. Tasks require cooperation. Next is individual accountability. Students receive individual roles, responsibilities, and grades within the group. The next one is equal participation. All students are engaged, and the high achiever doesn't do all of the work. Last is simultaneous interaction. Students engage and collaborate with each other. The acronym for these four is PIES. An important consideration in implementing your unit will be to set up students in effective teams. So the question is how to best design those teams. There are some very good strategies that we can recommend. First of all, your team should be groups of 2 to 4 students. You can group them according to achievement grouping with 1 high, 2 middle, and 1 low. Learning styles or work styles based on both the students' and teachers' input. Student input. Ask each student to list 3 others they would work with and 1 they cannot work with. And then the teacher creates teams within these parameters. There is also random grouping when you pull names from a list, homogeneous grouping or gender grouping, and finally there is student choice where students pick their own teams. The next thing you want to do is set up a seating chart as a way to proactively manage students in the classroom. If you use removable labels, you can arrange teams on the seating chart and then switch individuals around to create the most effective grouping. Next, let's discuss some of the individual attributes of cooperative learning. Positive interdependence refers to groups functioning as teams with a common goal. They perform tasks that require cooperation. Team building is an essential piece of getting teams to work together cooperatively and cohesively. Here are some tips. Allow students to create a team identity with a team name. Assign some cooperative exercises that require them to work together. An example would be to perform an in-class scavenger hunt or build a bridge or freestanding structure within a given time limit. Always refer to teams by name in the classroom. Post their data by team name. Create folders with different colors to distinguish one team from another. The next two attributes of cooperative learning that we will discuss are individual accountability and equal participation. Regarding individual accountability, you want to create team roles specifically for the task at hand. Roles within the team might include such things as team manager, recorder, materials monitor, taskmaster, and timekeeper. Students will need to be trained on how to perform those roles. Regarding equal participation, you want to emphasize that grades are based on individual student work even as they work in teams. The high achiever doesn't do all the work. All students are engaged. Each student submits his or her own copy in his or her own handwriting. To encourage collaboration, after working on a team task, you might allow some team time before individuals submit their own work. If the assignment requires that only one document be submitted, give each group several color markers, pens, or pencils, and ask students to write a key of who wrote in each color. The final attribute of cooperative learning is called simultaneous interaction. What is emphasized is that students engage and collaborate with each other. When calling on groups, randomly select students to answer. Have team members 1 through 4 assigned a number, and use a spinner to select a number and call on the team member with that number. Or pull names from a set of index cards. Refrain from calling on only those with hands raised. Encourage team interdependence. Make it a team rule that the members of the team must ask each other questions before requesting help from the teacher. Ask 3 before me. Finally, we should discuss some of the cooperative learning structures that Spencer Kagan has designed that incorporate PIEs and promote student interaction and accountability for learning. Here, we are highlighting 5 of them known as the Essential 5. The first is Rally Robin, where a pair of students takes turns responding to a question. Timed pair share is where within a given time frame, students pair up but individually answer a question and then share the responses with a partner. Round robin is where within a team rather than a pair, each student takes turns responding to a question. Rally coach allows for one student within a pair to solve a problem while the other student coaches. After a time period, they switch roles. And finally, stand up, hand up, pair up is where students quickly stand up, place a hand in the air, and find another student with a hand up to pair up with and share responses. These are just a few of Kagan's cooperative learning structures that you can employ in your classroom. For more information, I suggest you check kaganonline.com to find out more about other cooperative learning structures that can be utilized in the classroom.